The next case study is a BCS4 compound, something near and dear to everyone's heart, exceedingly low solubility. This one is a fast crystallizer, and the API was degrading in the spray-dried dispersion solvent. Some more of the issues. Early on in the development, the client looked at solution versus suspension in PK studies, which is a very good activity to do early on to get an understanding of your oral bioavailability and the need to increase solubility. When it was dosed from a solution, they saw 80% bioavailability compared to the IV, and as a suspension, 3%. So that significant difference in relative bioavailability told them that they had to go towards an enabled formulation, which is why they went to a spray-dried dispersion. The solvent they were using to solubilize for spray-dried dispersion was THF water, and the API itself is a rapid crystallizer. So as soon as it touches the water and basically hits the water, it crystallizes. The API is significantly unstable, and the purity dropped 20% after 1 month of storage at 2560. And the client, before they came to us, did not have a good understanding of the degradation pathway. Also, the dose range was really low. So the API was crystallizing in the drug product. At a very low dose, you'd have to look into advanced techniques like solid-state NMR to get those low levels of crystallization at that low of a drug loading. How did Crystal Pharmatech solve the problem? Again, we fully understood the molecule. We did a proper degradation using LC mass spec to identify that hydrolysis was taking place. We identified the hydrolysis degradant. Hydrolysis can't use water in your spray-dried dispersion solvent system. We immediately took that out. We added desiccant to the spray-dry intermediate, stored it at 5 degrees, stable for 6 months at 5 degrees. And we use regression analysis to support the reevaluation studies. How did we approach the crystallization concern? We did this by adjusting the pH of the vehicle. So the dosing suspension at the low pH of 3.5, the polymer that we used did not dissolve. The polymer doesn't dissolve, the API is not going to dissolve from the spray-dry intermediate, and you're not going to get crystallization. So you can see by the X-ray here on the screen that at pH 3.5, you have your typical amorphous halos, no detection of crystalline material. Without buffer, we see crystallization. Now, it's not a clean crystalline amorphous mixture, but it's definitely crystallizing. And we saw the PK pharmacokinetics dropping and dissolution dropping when there was no buffer present. The resulting impact to the PK is, compared to previous spray-dried dispersions, we were seeing a 5-fold increase in exposure with stability, chemical stability that was acceptable for GLP tox in phase 1. Understand your molecule, understand your material, make your medicine.